I sat 10 feet from her cubicle, earbuds in, when the Slack ping hit like a slap. My coworker, the one who smiled in my face every morning, typed out my exact real idea as her own weekend genius. She claimed the Glow Up series I bled for at 2 a.m., the one already pulling 500,000 views on my page. I watched her cursor blink, heart steady, folder of timestamps already open on my screen. She never saw the quiet storm coming until the projector lit up every dated proof in front of the entire room. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you're listening from in the comments. My name is Yechi. I'm 29 years old, and this is what really happened. The open office smelled like fresh printer ink and someone's microwaved salmon from lunch. Fluorescent panels hummed above my desk, casting that cold, blue-white glow that makes every skin tone look washed out, except when the light hits right. I had my noise-canceling earbuds in, volume low enough to hear the world, but high enough to drown the keyboard clatter. My phone screen lit up with a Slack notification, Team Channel at Everyone Tag. I tapped it open. Lauren's message sat pinned at the top like she owned the conversation. Team, been cooking on this idea all weekend. Short form, reel series, Atlanta glow up hacks. Quick cuts, trending audio. Text overlays popping on beat. User-generated submissions for the final montage. We brand it under the agency, run paid boosts, turn it into evergreen content. Thoughts? My exact format. Word for word, almost. The one I'd been teasing in my personal drafts for 3 months. My thumb froze over the screen. The air felt thinner, like the AC kicked up a notch just to mess with me. I pulled one earbud out. The office noise rushed back, phones buzzing, distant laughter from the kitchen pod, the click of Lauren's mechanical keyboard 10 cubicles over. She kept typing. Already mocked up 3 samples. The engagement potential is insane. This could be our Q2 signature campaign. Replies flooded in. Love this, Lauren. Genius. Steal. Pitch it to the directors ASAP. I stared at the words until they blurred. My pulse thumped behind my left eye. That reel series wasn't born in her weekend brainstorming session. It came from me, sitting cross-legged on my living room rug at 2 a.m., phone propped on a stack of books, testing transitions until my battery died twice. I had the proof. Time-stamped screen recordings, Google Drive version history, DMs with my cousin Kai, where I sent the first rough cut back in October. Metadata on every clip showing creation dates weeks before her all-weekend claim, but she typed it like it fell from the sky into her head. I leaned back in my chair, rolling my neck until it cracked. The guy next to me, Marcus from Paid Media, glanced over, eyebrows raised. You good, Jada? I forced a half smile. Yeah, just reading Slack. He nodded and went back to his spreadsheet. I opened my personal Instagram drafts folder on my phone. There it was. The very first test reel I posted privately to close friends only. Views, 487,000 on my main when I finally went public last month. Comments still rolling in. Brands sliding into my DMs for collabs. That was mine, not agency property, not team brainstorm, mine. Lauren's cursor blinked in the channel again. Adding this to my promotion deck. If we move fast, we can own this space before competitors do. Promotion deck, the senior creative director spot, the one she'd been gunning for since the last round of reviews. The one that came with a corner office, direct reports, and a salary bump that would let her finally move out of that overpriced midtown loft she complained about every Monday. I closed Slack, set my phone face down, took one slow breath through my nose, let it out through my mouth. She didn't know I was watching. She didn't know I had every file dated, backed up, and organized in a folder labeled simply receipts. And she definitely didn't know I was about to turn her victory lap into the longest walk of her career. I picked my phone back up, opened my camera roll, scrolled to the original shoot date, November 12th, 2025. Screenshot, saved. Then another. My Notes app entry from September outlining the exact structure. Hook in 3 seconds, value in 8, CTA at 15, loopable ending. Every piece. I wasn't angry yet, not the loud kind. This was colder, sharper, the kind that settles in your chest and stays. I liked Lauren's message in Slack. Double tap heart, let her see the notification pop. Let her think I was on board. Let her keep building the tower. Because when it came time to pull the first brick, I wanted everyone watching. The apartment smelled like vanilla candle wax and the faint citrus from my leave-in conditioner. I'd lit that candle every night for weeks while editing, November through January. Same routine, door locked, curtains drawn, laptop balanced on a pillow across my thighs, phone recording in vertical mode. I remember the exact night the concept clicked, October 28th, 2025. Rain tapping the window like impatient fingers. I was scrolling For You page at 1:47 a.m., half asleep, when a transition trend hit different. Smooth zoom on product, quick cut to before and after, text overlay syncing to the beat drop. Simple, addictive, but nobody in beauty or lifestyle was doing it with real Atlanta flavor. Corner store hauls, braid appointment glow-ups, MARTA commute hacks, Sunday church fits turned weekday office sleigh. I paused the scroll, sat up straight, grabbed my notebook, the one with the cracked spine and coffee ring on the cover. First bullet, hook under 3 seconds or lose them. Second, value in the middle, real tip, not fluff. Third, end on a loopable question so they watch again. Fourth, black girl magic without saying the phrase, show it. I tested the first draft that same night, hoodie up, natural lighting from the floor lamp. Spoke straight to camera like I was telling my little sister. POV, you finally figured out how to make $12 edge control last 2 weeks in Atlanta humidity. Quick pan to the product, swipe transition to application. Before shot, edges lifting. After, laid like glass. Text pop. Link in bio for the dupe list. Posted it privately to close friends. Sent the link to Kai in DMs. Kai, girl, this is fire. Run it public. Me, scared it'll flop. Kai, flop? You already at 2K followers off reposts. Post it. I waited 2 days, then hit public on November 2nd. By November 12th, it crossed 200K views. December 5th, 500,000. January hit 487K and climbing. Brands noticed. First DM from a local hair care line came January 8th. Love your aesthetic. Collab? That reel wasn't luck. It was 27 late nights. Battery anxiety. Redoing audio because the fan noise crept in. Saving every version with dates in the file name. Glowup _hack _V1 _10282025.mp4. V2, V3, up to V11. Back in the office that Monday after I saw Lauren's Slack post, I kept my face neutral. Smiled at the water cooler small talk. Nodded when someone asked about my weekend. But inside, jealousy didn't burn hot. It sharpened cold. Lauren started getting the praise I earned in silence. Tuesday, she posted in the creative channel, brainstorming more real ideas, thinking user-submitted glow-ups next. 3 likes from directors. VP of Client Services, this is the direction we need. Wednesday, she shared a mood board. Same color palette I used, gold, deep teal, warm browns. Caption, vibes for the series. Thursday, a junior designer commented, obsessed, Lauren. You always bring the heat. I watched the likes stack. Watched her name trend in internal shoutouts. Watched her walk taller in the hallway, AirPods in, pretending not to notice the eyes on her. She never tagged me. Never asked if I'd seen the trend. Never even liked my public reel when it blew up, though I knew she followed me because her alt account hearted it once by mistake last month. I didn't screenshot that. Didn't need to. The proof was already piling in my receipts folder. Every file had creation metadata. Every draft saved in Drive with edit history. Every DM time-stamped. County court record standards didn't even matter yet. This was digital forensics, clean and dated. I closed my laptop that Friday evening, stood at my window overlooking Midtown, lights flickering on across Peachtree Street, cars crawling in rush hour red. Lauren thought she invented lightning. I was about to show the whole office where it really struck first. Back at my desk the following Monday, the office air felt heavier than usual. Someone had cranked the heat. My cardigan stuck lightly to my shoulders. I kept my monitor angled so no one could glance over easily. Slack stayed minimized. Email stayed closed. Browser tabs, one for my Google Drive folder, one for my phone's File Explorer mirrored via USB debugging, one private incognito window for metadata viewers. I opened the first video file again. glowup_hack_v1_10282025.mp4. Right-click, Properties, Details tab. Created October 28, 2025, 1:52 a.m. Modified same night. No edit since upload to my personal drive. Next file, the audio stem I ripped from CapCut. Timestamp identical. Then the Notes app export PDF, dated September 15, 2025. With the bullet points I'd handwritten first, then typed. 3-sec hook. Value middle. Loop end. Word for word what Lauren described in Slack. Blatant didn't even cover it. This was copy-paste lazy. I leaned forward, elbows on the desk, chin in hands. The betrayal settled like sediment in still water. Not explosive. Just there. Thick. Undeniable. Why her? Lauren, with her perfectly highlighted balayage. Her, I'm just a creative at heart bio on LinkedIn. Her habit of name-dropping every conference she'd ever attended. She'd never posted an original reel. Never risked a flop. Never stayed up until her eyes burned just to nail one transition. Yet here she was, claiming lightning. I could have blasted her in the channel right then. Could have replied all with screenshots. Could have tagged the directors and watched the chaos unfold in real time. But noise fades. Proof lingers. I chose silence. I created a new folder on my personal encrypted drive. Lauren Timeline Agency Theft. Dropped everything in, screenshots of her Slack messages with exact timestamps. My own post history pulled from Instagram Insights. Export CSV showing first public drop November 2nd, 2025. Even the accidental like from her Finsta account on October 30th when I tested a teaser to close friends. I cross-referenced dates in a simple Google Sheet. Column A, my action date. Column B, Lauren's first mentioned date. Gap, minimum 6 weeks. No overlap in company channels. I never shared the concept internally. Not a brainstorm doc. Not a casual, hey, what do y'all think, Slack thread. Nothing. If this went legal, which I wasn't planning yet, the dates would hold in any small claims filing or even a basic cease and desist drafted by any notary public in Fulton County. I saved the sheet, locked the folder, logged out of everything personal on the work laptop. Then I opened Slack again, scrolled to her latest hype post, a Canva mock-up of the Reels series thumbnail, gold text, teal background. My exact color scheme. I double-tapped the heart, watched the notification fly to her phone, let her smile, let her think the team was rallying. I stood up, stretched, walked to the kitchen pod for water, past her cubicle on purpose. She looked up, flashed that bright, practiced grin. Lauren, Jada, you seeing the Reel series buzz? I'm so pumped. Me. Yeah, it's catching fire. Good luck with the pitch. Lauren, thanks. Means a lot coming from you. I nodded once, kept walking. My reflection in the break room window looked calm, almost bored. Inside, every step felt deliberate, measured. Like loading rounds into a clip you never plan to fire unless they force your hand. I filled my hydro flask. Ice clinked against stainless steel. Cold seeped through my palm. Lauren wanted the spotlight. I was about to hand her the receipts instead. And when the lights hit those timestamps, no filter could soften the truth. By Tuesday, the office buzz hit fever pitch. Whispers bounced off cubicle walls like echoes in a gym. Lauren's name on every tongue. Heard she's locking down the director spot. Her real pitch is gold, execs eating it up. Slack's blowing up, she's got the whole team hyped. I felt the energy shift when I walked in. My badge swipe against the reader, cool plastic under my thumb, the beep sharp and final. Coats slung over chairs, coffee mugs steaming on desks, the carpet muffled footsteps, but not the low chatter. I sat down, fingers brushing the worn keys of my laptop, the trackpad smooth from years of swipes. Opened Slack like routine, scrolled the creative channel. Lauren's updates dominated. Deck almost ready, adding metrics from similar campaigns. Attached a screenshot of projected engagement graphs. Spikes in red lines. all hypothetical. Likes poured in, comments stacked. Can't wait to see this live. You're killing it, Elle. I hovered my cursor, clicked the thumbs up emoji, felt the faint vibration in my mouse as it registered. Staying under radar meant playing the game. I replied to one of her threads. Solid metrics, excited for the pitch. She reacted with a heart, quick, oblivious. The promotion meeting loomed Friday. Hybrid setup, Zoom for remotes, conference room for locals, big screens, catered bagels, the kind where careers pivot on a single slide. I gathered more proof in stolen moments. Lunch break at my desk, sandwich wrapper crinkling under my palm, pulled up Instagram Insights export. CSV file with every view timestamp, every share. Filtered for dates predating her Slack claim. Saved as PDF, notarized mentally. Though, if needed, I could hit the Fulton County Notary Public Office downtown for official stamps on printouts. Touch base with Kai via text. Her reply buzzed my phone, screen lighting up against my thigh in my pocket. Kai, still dealing with that thief? Me, proof stacking, pitch Friday. Kai, drop it like it's hot. But smart. I nodded to no one, slid my phone back, fabric brushing skin. Afternoon meeting with the team. Lauren at the head of the table, gesturing wide. Her ring clinked against the glass surface. Gold band, probably a family heirloom she mentioned once. This reel series could redefine our social play. I'm presenting the full vision. Input welcome. Hands raised, ideas flew. I stayed quiet at first, then added, love the user gen angle, builds community. She beamed. Exactly, Jada. That's the core. My pen tapped the notepad. Plastic, cool, and rhythmic against my fingertip. Under radar. Let the buzz build. By Thursday, the office felt electric. Emails flew. Prep for Lauren's pitch. Attendance mandatory. Slack polls. Who's joining in person? I voted yes. Felt the keyboard keys depress under my touch. Each click deliberate. I requested my slot that evening. Email to the VP. I'd like to add context on the real campaign during the meeting. Supporting case study from my side hustle insights. Cool? Reply came fast. Approved. Slot after Lauren's main deck. Perfect. I leaned back, chair leather creaking under my weight, hands clasped behind my head, elbows out. The plan locked in. Lauren wanted the crown. I was about to hand her the weight instead. No rush, just touch points of proof, stacking like bricks in a wall she'd never see coming. Thursday night, my apartment felt smaller than usual. The ceiling fan spun slow circles above the couch, stirring the air just enough to move the edges of printed screenshots spread across the coffee table. Paper edges curled slightly from the humidity sneaking through the cracked window. I sat cross-legged on the floor, laptop open beside me, external hard drive plugged in, small black rectangle humming faintly as it powered up. I started with the basics. Every video file from my phone, right-click, get info on Mac, creation date stamped clear, October 28, 2025 for the first test. Modified dates matched my late-night editing sessions. No alterations post-upload, clean chain of custody. Next, Instagram export. I'd requested my full data dump weeks earlier. Smart move. The archive arrived as a zip. Unpacked it. Insights folder. CSV files loaded into numbers. Filtered column by column. Post date November 2nd, 2025. First view spike at 3:14 p.m. EST. Cumulative views climbing to 487K. Share count. Save count. Every metric screaming originality. I cross-referenced against Lauren's Slack timestamps. Her first mention, January 15th, 2026. Gap, 10 full weeks. No shared docs. No forwarded links. Nothing in company OneDrive or shared drives. I never breathed the concept in a work context. I pulled up the DM thread with Kai, screenshot the entire chain. Dates visible. October 28th, message, the rough cut link. Her reply, this is it. My response, praying it doesn't tank. Timestamps match my phone records. For extra weight, I opened Google Drive. Shared the folder link with myself from personal Gmail to work Gmail. Timestamp transfer log. Version history on the notes doc. First entry, September 15th, 2025. Edits logged every few days until final polish. I compiled it all into one master PDF, 23 pages. Chronological order, file names, dates, screenshots with red arrows pointing to key evidence. Title at the top, in bold, Original Creation Timeline, Atlanta Glow Up Hacks Real Series Concept. At the end, a simple footer line. All dates verifiable via device metadata and platform exports. Fulton County Notary Public Certification available upon request if formal dispute arises. I saved it. Named the file pitch_context_jada_0 2192026.pdf. Attached it to a draft email I wouldn't send yet. Friday morning arrived crisp. Atlanta's sky pale blue through the office windows. I dressed sharp, tailored blazer over a silk camisole. Oh, gold hoops catching the light when I turned my head. My steps echoed softer on the carpeted hallway leading to the large conference room. People already filing in. Bagels on trays. Cream cheese packets scattered. Coffee urns steaming bitter aroma cutting through the room. Chairs scraping as folks claimed seats. Hybrid setup ready. Big screen at the front, Zoom link live. Remote participants' faces tiled small. Lauren stood near the podium, clicking through her deck one last time. Her slides glowed on the preview monitor, gold and teal thumbnails, bullet points mirroring my structure. She adjusted her mic pack, smiled at arriving execs. I found my seat 3 rows back, laptop open on the table in front of me, screen dimmed low. The master PDF loaded and minimized. Ready. The VP of Creative opened the meeting. We're here to review Lauren's proposed Real Series campaign. Lauren, floor is yours. She stepped forward. Lights dimmed slightly for the projector. Her voice clear, practiced. Lauren, thank you all for being here. Today I'm presenting Atlanta Glow Up Hacks, a short-form series designed to drive engagement, community, and brand affinity. She advanced slides, hook strategy, value delivery, user submissions, exact beats I'd documented months earlier. My fingers rested on the trackpad, cool metal under my skin. I waited. She hit the metric slide, projected ROI graphs climbing. The room leaned in. My turn was next. I took one slow breath. Felt the air move through my lungs, steady. Proof doesn't shout, it simply exists. And today, it was about to speak louder than any deck ever could. The conference room temperature dropped a notch when the projector fan kicked on louder. Cool air brushed the back of my neck where my braids were pulled into a low bun. The big screen glowed brighter now, washing everyone's faces in pale blue. Lauren stood center stage, clicker in hand, posture straight like she'd rehearsed this in front of her full-length mirror. She advanced to slide 4, the hook strategy. Lauren, we open every reel with a 3-second grabber, something relatable, something urgent. Atlanta-specific pain points turned into quick wins. My exact words from the Notes app entry dated September 15th. I felt the paper copy of that entry folded in my blazer pocket, edges pressing against my ribs through the silk lining. She clicked again. Lauren, then we deliver real value in the middle. Practical hacks, product dupes, transitions that keep viewers locked. No fluff, just results. The room nodded. A few execs jotted notes. The Zoom chats scrolled slowly on the side monitor. Thumbs up emojis. This is fire. Taking notes. I sat still, hands folded on the table. Trackpad under my right palm, warm from body heat. The master PDF waited minimized behind one key press. She moved to user submissions. Lauren, the genius part, crowdsource glow-up stories from our audience. Montage at the end, builds community, drives UGC, turns viewers into participants. Same structure, same phrasing cadence. I counted the beats in my head, 3 seconds hook, 8 seconds value, 15 seconds CTA loop. She even used my color palette mock-ups as placeholders, teal gradients bleeding into gold. The VP leaned forward slightly. Impressive ownership of the concept, Lauren. How long have you been developing this? Lauren smiled, small and confident. Lauren, honestly, the core hit me over the weekend, but I've been iterating in my head for months. Pulled it all together when I saw the trend potential. Months in her head, not on any hard drive. Not time-stamped, not provable. A quiet ripple moved through the seated creatives. Someone in the back coughed. Ice shifted in a water pitcher on the side table. She clicked to the metric slide. Bar graphs climbing. Hypothetical engagement rates pulled from similar campaigns. She named numbers I recognized from my own insights export, views, shares, saves, twisted to look like projections instead of history. Lauren, if we launch Q2, we could see 300K plus organic views per reel within the first month. Paid boost takes it exponential. More nods. A director murmured approval. My pulse stayed even, breath shallow but steady. The room smelled faintly of toasted bagels and Lauren's vanilla perfume. Sweet, cloying, too close. She wrapped her main deck. Lauren, this isn't just content, it's a brand position. Atlanta forward, authentic, scalable. I'm ready to lead this if given the green light. Applause started. Polite at first, then fuller. Hands clapped against palms. Zoom participants unmuted briefly to echo great job. The VP stood. Thank you, Lauren. Strong presentation. Before we open for Kawanda, we have one supporting case study from Jada on the campaign space. Jada? All eyes shifted. Chairs creaked as bodies turned. Lauren glanced back, still smiling, expecting a compliment or quick endorsement. I stood slowly, blazer smooth against my arms, walked to the front. Felt the carpet give under my heels. The projector light hit my face, warm on one cheek. I plugged my laptop into the HDMI cable. Screen mirrored. The PDF title filled the big display. Original Creation Timeline, Atlanta Glow Up Hacks Reel Series Concept. I clicked open. The first page loaded. My September 15th notes entry screenshot. I spoke calm, voice carrying without strain. Me. Before we move forward, I'd like to provide context on this exact concept. Dates and files included. Lauren's smile faltered half a second. She tilted her head, still playing gracious. I advanced to the next slide, my October 28th video file properties. Creation timestamp clear in red box. Me. This reel format originated in my personal content pipeline. First test file created October 28th, 2025. Public drop November 2nd. Current views, 487,000 and growing. Gasps rippled. Small, sharp. Someone whispered. Wait. I kept going. Slide after slide, DMs with Kai, Instagram insights export, drive version history. Every brick laid out clean. Lauren's face drained color under the projector glow. Her clicker hand dropped to her side. The Zoom chat exploded. What? Hold on. This is her idea? I reached the final page. The gap summary. Me. No shared company documents, no internal discussions. The concept was never presented here until today, by someone else. Silence landed heavy. The fan whirred louder in the quiet. I looked straight at the room. Me. I'm not here to accuse. I'm here to show the timeline. Credit belongs where the work began. Lauren opened her mouth, closed it, looked at the VP, looked at me. The air felt thick now, charged, waiting. I stepped back from the podium. Let the screen stay lit. Proof had spoken. Now the room had to decide what to do with the echo. The projector light stayed fixed on the final slide. White text on black background. Timeline gap, 10 plus weeks, no internal sharing. Red arrows pointed to every mismatched date like neon signs in the dark. No one clapped now. The earlier applause had evaporated. Chairs held still. Breathing patterns shifted, some shallow, some held. The Zoom tiles on the side screen showed frozen expressions. Wide eyes, mouths parted, one hand covering lips. Lauren stood rooted near the podium edge. Her clicker dangled loose in her fingers. The gold ring on her right hand caught the light once, then dimmed as her arm dropped. The VP cleared his throat. Sounded like gravel under boots. VP. Jada, thank you for that context. Lauren, do you have anything to add? Lauren blinked twice, fast. Her lips moved before sound came out. Lauren, this is a misunderstanding. I drew inspiration from trends we all see. The format is common. I built on what's already out there. Her voice cracked on the last word. Higher pitch than usual? She glanced at me, then away, then back to the execs. Me. The 3-second hook structure, the exact value delivery timing, the user-gen montage close. Those aren't generic trends. Those are my documented decisions from September and October. Before any public reel existed in that style under the agency umbrella? I clicked back one slide. The Notes app screenshot filled the screen again. Handwritten bullets visible in my own messy script, scanned and dated. Me. This was never posted publicly until I chose to. Never shared here. The metadata on the files confirms creation dates. Device logs confirm no exports to company systems. A junior creative in the third row, Nia from video production, leaned forward. Her braids swung slightly. Nia. Hold up. That's the same breakdown I saw in Jada's close friend's story last fall. I remember because I saved it. Murmurs started low, rippled outward. Lauren turned toward Nia, then back to the room. Lauren. People share ideas all the time. Brainstorming happens informally. I never claimed I invented short-form video. Me. You claimed you cooked this up over the weekend. You said the core hit you then. You attached mock-ups using my exact palette and flow. You never mentioned inspiration from existing internal content. I advanced to the Instagram Insights page. Numbers bold, 487,214 views. First public post, November 2nd, 2025. Me. This is the proof of life. Sir? Before your Slack post, before your deck. The engagement came from real testing, real iteration, not a weekend brainstorm. The Zoom chat scrolled faster now. Remote_creative1, this is wild. Director_Sarah. Need to review IP guidelines after this. Anon_participant. Receipts don't lie. Lauren's face flushed from neck to cheeks. She set the clicker down on the table. Hands flat against the wood, fingers splayed. Lauren. I didn't steal anything. I saw the potential in the space and ran with it. That's what creatives do. Me. Creatives build. They don't photocopy someone else's blueprint and call it original. Silence stretched again. Thicker this time. The VP rubbed his temple. VP, we're going to pause here. HR will join us shortly. Lauren, Jada, both stay. Everyone else will reconvene in 30. Chairs scraped back. People stood slowly, eyes darting between us. Footsteps padded toward the door. The conference room emptied in waves. Bagels left untouched. Coffee cups abandoned mid-sip. Lauren stayed standing, stared at the floor. Her shoulders rose and fell uneven. I closed my laptop, unplugged the HDMI, coiled the cable neatly, placed it back on the AV cart. The screen went dark, but the timestamps lingered in every mind still in the room. HR arrived minutes later. 2 people, one carrying a tablet, the other a legal pad. They closed the door. The fan kept whirring. The temperature felt colder now. Lauren finally looked at me. Lauren, you could have come to me first. Me. You could have credited the source, or asked, or not presented it as yours. She swallowed, said nothing else. I sat back down, folded my hands. The real confrontation wasn't loud. It was precise, and it was over before she ever saw the full clip coming. The door clicked shut after the last person left. The conference room shrank instantly. Just me, Lauren, the VP, and the 2 HR reps now. One HR, Ms. Carter, mid-40s, locks pulled into a neat twist, set her tablet down with a soft clack. The other, a younger man named Raj, opened his legal pad, pen poised. The projector had powered down, screen blank. But the afterimage of those red-arrowed timestamps still hung in the air like smoke. Miss Carter spoke first. Voice even, professional. Miss Carter, we've reviewed the materials presented. Jada, thank you again for the documentation. Lauren, we need your full account now. Walk us through your development process for this campaign idea. Lauren shifted weight from one heel to the other. Her blazer sleeve brushed the table edge. She kept her eyes on the wood grain. Lauren, like I said, it's inspiration. I follow a lot of creators. Atlanta trends are everywhere. I synthesized what I saw. The structure isn't unique. Short-form video follows patterns. Raj made a note. Pen scratched paper. Raj, Did you view or save any of Jada's personal reels prior to your Slack post on January 15th? Lauren hesitated, fingers flexed against the table. Lauren, I may have scrolled past it, but I didn't copy. I built my own version. Me. You used the identical 3-second hook rule, value and middle timing, user gen close, and my color palette in the mockups. Those specifics weren't public trends. They were in my private testing phase. I kept my tone flat. No edge, just facts stacked like evidence on a scale. Miss Carter glanced at her tablet. Swiped once. Miss Carter. We pulled Slack archives and drive logs. No record of Jada sharing this concept internally. No shared files. No mentions in chats or emails. Lauren, your first reference is January 15th. Jada's files predate by months. Lauren's jaw tightened. A muscle jumped near her ear. Lauren, this is being twisted. I'm a team player. I elevate ideas. If anything overlapped, it was unconscious. The VP exhaled through his nose. VP, unconscious doesn't explain the verbatim structure and the claim that it hit you over the weekend. That's a direct contradiction to the documented timeline. Silence pressed in again. The wall clock ticked once, twice. Raj looked up. Raj, company policy on intellectual property is clear. Original work created outside employment remains personal unless assigned or shared in company systems. Presenting it as original team-generated content without attribution violates our code of conduct, specifically sections on integrity and plagiarism. Lauren's eyes glistened now. Not tears yet, close. Lauren, I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I thought it would help the team. Me, it could have. If you'd said inspired by Jada's viral series, let's adapt it agency-wide. Credit changes everything. She looked at me then. Really looked. For the first time since the slides dropped. Lauren, you didn't have to do it like this, in front of everyone. Me, you didn't have to present it like yours, in front of everyone. Miss Carter interjected gently. Miss Carter, we're not assigning blame in this moment. We're gathering facts. Lauren, we'll need you to step out while we speak with Jada privately. Then we'll circle back. Lauren nodded once, slow, picked up her laptop, walked to the door, paused with her hand on the handle. Lauren, I'm sorry if it came across that way. The door closed behind her. Soft click. The VP turned to me. VP, Jada, we take this seriously. Your presentation was measured and professional. The evidence is compelling. We'll investigate fully. Interviews, full log review. In the interim, the real series pitch is tabled. No further development under that framing. I nodded. Me. I appreciate that. I just want the record straight. Credit where the work happened. Miss Carter. Understood. We may ask for copies of your files for our records. Nothing public unless it escalates. Me. Happy to provide. Everything's organized. Raj closed his pad. Raj. We'll follow up by end of day with next steps. For now. You're free to go. Thank you for bringing this forward. I stood, collected my things. The blazer felt lighter somehow. Walked past empty chairs, past the abandoned coffee cups, past the bagel tray still wrapped in plastic. In the hallway, the fluorescent lights buzzed again. Normal office noise filtered back. Phones ringing distant, keyboards clacking, someone laughing in the break room. I passed Lauren's cubicle. She sat facing her monitor, back to the aisle, shoulders curved inward, head slightly bowed. I kept walking. Didn't stop. Didn't speak. The confrontation ended not with shouting. It ended with quiet, and the truth settling exactly where it belonged. Monday morning after the pitch felt different. The office air carried the same printer ink and coffee, but the undercurrent had shifted. Conversations hushed when I passed cubicles. Eyes flicked up, then away. Not pity, not fear. Curiosity mixed with quiet respect. My inbox had 3 new messages before I even sat down. First, from Nia in video production. Hey Jada, what happened Friday was wild. Lauren pulled the same inspiration move on my thumbnail concept last quarter. Never said anything because I didn't have the receipts like you. Thank you for showing how it's done. Second, from Marcus in paid media. Damn, I liked her post because it looked good on paper. Had no idea. You handled that like a pro. Respect. Third, from an anonymous Slack DM. Burner account. Lisa, no profile pic. She's done this to at least 3 of us over the past year. Bits and pieces. You just connected the dots out loud. Thank you. I read them twice. Closed each window. Felt the weight of those words settle. Not heavy, but solid. Like foundation blocks. Lauren's cubicle stayed dark all morning. Chair pushed in, monitor off. No jacket slung over the back. Whispers said she called in sick. HR had her on administrative leave pending full review. No official announcement, just absence that spoke volumes. By lunch, the ripple had spread. Break room chatter low but pointed. Creative designer, overheard near the microwave. Lauren's deck was basically Jada's reel verbatim. Crazy she thought no one would notice. Another voice. Execs are scrambling. Oh, they're auditing every campaign pitch from the last 6 months now. I ate at my desk, salad fork scraping plastic container. Phone buzzed with a text from Kai. Kai, heard the tea. You went full courtroom receipts. Proud of you, sis. Me. Didn't feel like court, felt like math. Dates don't lie. Kai, math with receipts is the best kind. What's next? Me. Waiting, watching, working. Afternoon brought the first official email from HR. Subject, follow-up, internal review. Body, Jada, thank you for your cooperation. The investigation continues. Lauren has been placed on paid administrative leave. We've initiated a broader review of IP attribution practices. Your documented materials have been extremely helpful. Please let us know if you have additional context. I replied brief. Happy to assist further. Files remain available. No gloating. No victory lap. Just forward motion. By Wednesday, the sidelining became visible. Lauren's name vanished from upcoming project assignments. Her Slack status changed to offline permanently. The creative channel quieted. No more hype posts, no mock-ups, no brainstorming threads from her. More DMs trickled in, private, off-record. One from a remote copywriter. She borrowed my tagline framework for a client deck last fall. I let it slide. Wish I hadn't. Another from social media coordinator. Her mood boards? Pulled straight from my Pinterest inspo board she asked to see for research. Never credited. The pattern emerged clear. Not one big theft, a dozen small cuts. Ideas chipped away, repackaged, presented as original. Always to someone junior. Always to someone who might not push back. I didn't start a group chat. Didn't organize. Didn't need to. The truth circulated on its own. Quiet, steady, like water finding cracks. Thursday, I got called into a quick one-on-one with the VP. VP, we're creating a new creator equity task force, focused on protecting original IP from personal side hustles when it intersects with agency work. We'd like you to co-lead it, with a title bump and comp adjustment. I paused. Let the offer land. Me. I'd consider it, as long as the policy has teeth, timestamps, attribution rules, real consequences. VP. That's the plan. Your case set the precedent. I nodded once. Me. Send the details. I'll review. Walked out lighter, not triumphant, just balanced. The whispers followed me down the hall now, not about drama, but about proof. About standing firm, about what happens when dates line up against denial. Lauren's absence stretched into the next week. The office moved on, but the echo of those timestamps stayed, louder than any apology she never gave. 2 weeks later, the apartment smelled like fresh lemongrass from the diffuser I'd plugged in after a long day. Late February sun slanted through the blinds, painting gold stripes across the hardwood. My phone propped on the tripod again. Ring light soft, not harsh. I hit record. The reel opened simple. Me in a fresh twist-out, oversized hoodie, speaking straight to camera. Quick update. Sometimes the work speaks for itself. Dropped receipts in a meeting? Timeline didn't lie. Credit landed where it belonged. Protect your ideas, y'all. Dates don't play. Quick cut to a blurred screenshot of the master PDF. Red arrows visible, but details censored. Text overlay. Proof drama. Then the loop. Me smiling small. Question on screen. What's your biggest work theft story? Drop it below, posted it public. No tags, no shade, just fact. Views climbed fast. First hour, 12K. By evening, 89K. Comments flooded. Girl, you handled that ice cold. Receipts are the new clapback. This happened to me last year. Never said anything. Inspired AF. Brands noticed again. DMs reopened. One hair care line. Loved the authenticity in your last post. Let's talk sponsored series. Your rules, your credit. Another. Creator equity vibes. Collab? My side hustle wasn't side anymore. It breathed on its own. New sponsorships rolled in. Real checks, not exposure promises. I updated my media kit with the view spike. Numbers didn't lie either. Back at the office the following Monday, the VP called me in. VP, the task force is greenlit. You're co-lead. Title, Senior Creative Strategist, IP and Creator Initiatives. Comp adjustment effective next paycheck. We're also rolling out mandatory attribution training next quarter. Your case made it policy. I signed the offer letter. Pen smooth across the page. Felt the weight shift. Not gone, just redistributed. Lauren never came back. Resignation letter arrived via email the week prior. Quiet. No drama. HR processed it fast. Her cubicle cleared out overnight. Someone else moved in by Friday. I didn't celebrate. Didn't post victory dances. Just kept showing up. Kept creating. Kept timestamping. One evening, I sat on my balcony. Atlanta skyline twinkling below. Wind cool against my arms. Phone in hand. New draft open. I thought about the fluorescent buzz. The Slack ping. The projector glow. The silence that followed the slides. Sometimes, the loudest clapback isn't volume. It's precision. It's dates lined up like soldiers. It's proof that refuses to bend. I hit record again. New reel. New glow up. This time, the light hit different. Because I owned every frame. If this story struck a chord, hit like, subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments.